This is the National Video Journalist Network.
Welcome to My Long Island TV. I'm your host, Waldo Cabrera. My Long Island TV starts now.
We're a not-for-profit historical reenactment / history club. We enjoy learning about the Middle Ages by doing things rather than just reading about it in a book. People sword fight, people do embroidery, they learn heraldry, they sing medieval songs, they cook using medieval recipes. We leave out the unfortunate parts. We don't have the plague. Our meat never goes rotten. We're not really killing each other, at least here.
What we like to do with our sort of fighting is 1 or 2 weapons. We sometimes use shields. This is a Lochaber axe. It is a 2-handed weapon that could be used both defensively and offensively. You can unhorse a soldier. You can run somebody through on foot. And you could scare the willies out of the rest of the group. It's a fun weapon.
I've been doing this for 25 years.
What does everybody think
but this is my first time king.
There will be a royal procession headed by our king and queen and their entourage, and that will lead up to a horse show. Some of our equestrians will show off some of their skill on horseback. After that, there will be things like medieval fashion show, and you'll get to see different periods within the time period 1000 to 1500.
I wish to fight for you.
There will be gentlemen fighting in different kinds of weapons forms. Some of them will be fighting using wooden swords. Then there will also be some folks fighting with what we call live steel, which is steel swords. There's an archery field, so if people want to try their hand at shooting a bow and arrow, they can do that. There's some games for the kids, again, all medieval themed.
We'll be gracing your graces with a dance performance.
We reign for a full year, and that process is determined through a series of combats.
So it's a combination of fighting prowess, and then also people want you to be king and queen, so they fight on your team. So it's a nice mix of things, so people kind of vote by who they fight with. Well, everybody has their own interests. For me, I did a lot of theater when I was in high school, and I was very into costuming. So for me, the original draw was the costuming.
So if this made that hole, do you see how the curvature of the armor kind of holds it off a little bit? You add in a chainmail shirt underneath and some padding, and he probably would have been okay. This is an armoring booth, so what we have here are a bunch of different armor, and we show the public the different evolution of the armor as it's gone on through the time period. So over there, it's older stuff like chainmail, and then you get to things like a coat of plates, and then you'll get to full suits of plate armor. So we're talking about 600 years of history and trying to talk the public through how they worked and what they were doing.
Good crops. Mother Earth has to be satisfied. She wants a man. We didn't tell him he's getting sacrificed.
This was my first experience on the maypole, actually. I love history, and I didn't really know the full history of the maypole. It was just one of those random things I never really thought much about. Here's where you can hear it, where you can see it, and you can touch it, and you can actually feel closer to that history and get a better understanding for how people and culture and the way of life was back then.